podcast, guys. Normally Jay hosts this, but he's making me do it this time, which I think is a little bit mean. But hopefully it goes all right. I'm joined with Jay and Trev. We're just gonna get into it. So,
what was that wave? You're not the Queen.
Okay, so our first
Too late to be dealing with your shit.
Go on, Lauren, ignore him.
This is why I make him host, because when he does stuff like this, I can just leave it in as him being normal. Our first section is talking about member suggestions. So kind of like the good, the bad, the ugly. Do we want them? What can they be like? So like, what can they range from? Jay, you're normally really opinionated.
What do you mean?
So like, if a member gives,
because when you read out the running order, I didn't have a fucking clue what you meant then either. So now I have to just clarify: have we been given member suggestions that I'm going to rate and tell you how shit they are, or do you want me just to tell you generally how shit members' opinions usually are?
So basically, it's a bit of both. So you're going to have some suggestions in a minute, but
cool.
Do you personally like getting member suggestions?
I think the gym is built on member suggestions.
The
whole thing's built that we've been asking member suggestions from weeks before we owned the gym. Me and you stuck stories up on the Instagram asking people, what do you want to see? Phoenix was built on what people wanted to see. So yeah, I mean, we of course we hear people's opinions. It doesn't mean there aren't some fucking mental ones, but we do listen to people's opinions.
Okay, so that leads into then, what can they be like?
Well, I'll give you an example. Me and Abs carried a bathtub through the gym, and a member went, "You building a pool?" It's a fucking bathtub. It was. So they can be pretty fucking stupid. Pretty fucking stupid.
People were suggesting things like saunas and swimming pools and steam rooms constantly. And even when you've gone back and you've explained like why you're not in a place necessarily to do that at that point, they still suggest it even more.
I get my head around that because people don't understand the gravity of it. So me and Dad, we only talked about it earlier on today. 4 or 5 years ago, we stood in BST, didn't we? Every week, every Friday. Do you think we'll be in there by next Friday? Do you think we'll have a gym by next Friday? As we were trying to sign this thing off. And if you were to go and have a conversation with me and him then, the list of things we didn't know, we'd be here all year. So I understand that if all you do is go and use a gym, you don't understand the gravity of sticking a sauna or a steam room. And that's not just physically building it. That's the easiest bit.
Let's be clear. I mean, look, there's the practicality of doing something like building that sort of thing, and even saunas and things like that. And then there's the reality of what we are and aren't allowed to do. So we are not allowed to build a sauna, for instance. We are not allowed to build a steam room. Our lease doesn't allow for it. It's a shopping centre. You can't build that sort of thing inside the shopping centre. It's as simple as that.
And that's one aspect of it. Even if we didn't have that, you've got public liability insurance. I'm not sure there's any circumstance on this planet that our insurance company would be understanding of us having an unmanned 24/7 sauna. But even if we just opened it during manned hours, it's not consistent enough. So there's all sorts of reasons. But the main one is we are who we are, and we're not a health club. There is a fundamental. We get phone calls every day. There is a fundamental difference between a health club and a gym. Health clubs have gyms in them, and then they have all sorts of other things, ranging from saunas, steam rooms, swimming pools, hairdressers, outdoor pools, cafes that serve beer. Weird, but Virgin have it. So, but they've their health clubs have got gyms in them. We are just a gym, and I say just a gym. We're a very good gym, but we are a gym.
And this comes back to what we talked about on the last podcast. We have to be unapologetic as to what we are. And be good at what we are. We need to be the best at what we want to be, and we don't want to be a health club. We are a strength and conditioning, ostensibly a bodybuilding gym, body transformation, not drinking beer, smoking weed, that sort of thing. Did I say that? There's a topic. Oh, touched on something there.
I just don't understand why you do it. It just pisses me off. I just don't understand why you'd spark a doobie on a way to the gym and go, right, that's sick, I'm going to go and get a workout in. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And how is it possible? I swear down, how is it possible that you come in, you've smoked it on the way to the gym, you've come into the gym, you've worked out, you've gone to the changing rooms, you've left, and the changing rooms stink like you've smoked it in there.
Mm-hmm.
The entire gym smells of it. I know it straight away. It's horrendous, and it's like, what's the point? What's the point of going to the gym?
And I've given the repeat offenders on this, I've given chance after chance after chance after chance. They come in smelling of all of their dad's aftershave for like one day, and then like 2 days later, they smell like weed again. And I'm unapologetically just going to start fucking kicking these people out, because I don't want the smell in the gym. I don't give a shit if there's health benefits associated. I couldn't give a fuck. It's just not appropriate.
It's up there with like BO, isn't it? We have to have awkward conversations with members if they smell bad because of personal hygiene. And if you're smelling of like weed, or if you're smelling of cigarettes, it's still down to personal hygiene. You just smell. It's not nice. Don't want to be around it.
Look, personally, I don't want it around me. Simple as that. I don't. It's not the place for it. It's supposed to be about improving your mental health, your well-being, your body, transforming it, being a better version of yourself, each and every day. And that shit ain't doing that for you. That's for sure. So I'm intolerant of it. Massively intolerant of it.
We've gone a long way from members' suggestions.
Yeah, but do you know, Jay, that is something that, like, members should feel that they are able to voice that type of thing, not just the physicality of the gym, not just saunas and steam rooms and swimming pools and bits of kit, and can we have different music? Can we play organ pipe music from the local church, or silence, or whatever? Members should feel that they are listened to, because we do listen to them. Because a lot of these things we do take seriously. When somebody says something about like saunas and stuff like that, you and I, we've had serious conversations about things like saunas, ice baths, recovery rooms, all that type of stuff. It's not like we dismiss it. So yeah, carrying a bath through the gym and going, are you building a swimming pool?
It's fucking hilarious.
Stretching it a little bit.
It's fucking hilarious.
Maybe it was the same person that was smoking the weed. I don't know. But
they were doing something stronger than weed.
Just to clarify, that bath wasn't for the gym. That isn't going in the gym. We're not having baths in the gym.
Bubble bath.
Can you imagine?
It would be like having a bath.
Gareth, can I get in with you?
It would be like having a bath at half time watching a football match, wouldn't it, Jay?
Oh.
Oh, do you know what? No. That doesn't sound anything like as bad as it is, because people just assume, what, you had a bath in your house at half time? No. Worse, at the stadium.
At the stadium, in
the executive box.
Yeah, which happened to have a bathroom with a bath in it, and somebody that we took along decided to get the old bubbles going.
Got his strides off, got stark bollocks naked, got in the bath, and the bird who was coming in and out to serve champagne went, oh, there's a bloke in there without any trousers on.
There's a geezer with no strides on.
And he's not a small fella either. Not a small fella. It was a big man in a not a very big bathtub. In a corporate box.
My corporate box as well. It was.
Dad, can I use the corporate box? Yeah, of course you can, mate. Never fucking ask that again.
What did I say? All I said was, can you just make sure that everyone sort of behaves themselves? Turn up reasonably dressed. Don't wear. You can't wear.
They turned up reasonably dressed. As one of them lost his clothes halfway through the game.
Got in the bath. Yeah.
Just horrendous images in my head.
Fuck me! You've just brought up a story from like 9 years ago.
You see.
Fucking mental.
A little blast from the past. It kind of leads into, with members' suggestions, that we actively go out there asking for their ideas and their opinions on things, because leading off of both of your podcasts from last week, we put out a poll, and we did it in 2 parts in the end to try and get as much information as we could from members. And the first part was, are you happy to lose the studio to be replaced by an entire back room, meaning that we can add more equipment across the gym? Overall, it was 69% yes, 31% no. So take the majority were saying yes, that they're happy to lose it. But when you look into the actual votes of it, 106 votes said yes. Let me find my actual numbers. I went all analytical on it. Only 12 of those votes that said yes were female. So it was our male demographic that were kind of pushing to be like, yeah, let's just get rid of the studio space.
It became fairly clear within the first hour of it being up that the majority of female members were not only saying no, but direct messaging us going, fuck no, don't lose the studio. So message received. Because as much as I would love to go and build a back room and go, right, we'll sack off the studio for a bit, I've always recognised that the studio has an importance because people are in there all the time. I just didn't know to what degree it had importance. And the reason that I didn't just, on this one, just go ahead and do it, like we have done on so many other things, was because there was that thing in the back of my head going, we could lose members because of that. Because actually it's a place where people go and feel like they can be private and do a bit of stretching and important stuff, stuff that is perfectly valid. And that was founded, of course there's blokes that fucking grunt when they walk and like me and you who don't give a top. I mean, I've never used our studio. I probably never will. I would never use a studio in any gym ever that I've ever been in.
Cardio equipment in it, Jay.
It's terrifying.
Ski erg,
mobility. Don't know you, mate. Like it's just like it. None of it is. I hurt bending down. When we put Archie in his cot at night, I have to bend into his cot to do his baby grow up, and I have to recover for 10 minutes after it every single time. So I don't use the studio. I probably fucking should. But yeah, so I always knew that we had that demographic. What I don't want to do is just, you can lean too much into we're a fucking bodybuilding gym, so if you don't like it, fuck off. I don't want to be that, because there's gyms out there that are like that, and we're not like that.
But that is why after we could have kind of looked at the result that we were getting so far, we kind of put out like a second poll where we gave them the option of like, A, you can lose the studio space, have the back room, but like you'll get a studio but at some point, or do you want to wait, option B, do you want to wait until there is a new studio available and then you have the back room? And then that was the option that has overwhelmingly won, and it's actually won over both male and female members. So it's like it's clearly
the most
told
popular.
us what we need to know.
And then that's what we do.
I have a new poll for this week.
Can we finish this one? Because I think that makes sense to me. We build a studio when we're ready to build the studio.
We're
building it tomorrow.
It's not. I'm not skirting off onto a totally different topic. It's another poll about this.
Can tell.
So
could be a poll
based
about
on the
your
fact,
bloody eating habits. I don't know. It could be anything.
My eating habits.
I don't know. It could be anything, couldn't it?
2 sets in earlier. Oh, Jay, I'm getting the shakes. Fucking hell, mate. This is this stuff. 2 exercises in.
No, we weren't 2 exercises in.
We were. We were second exercise. We were the second exercise in. We were like 4 sets into the whole workout.
Yeah, but we'd done about 6 or 7 sets.
No.
Okay.
We were on the first set of the second exercise. We were 4 or 5 in. You fucking big tart. So establishing
this is just telling me
the
we
fact
need to
that
bring
people...
back training with my dad so badly.
Oh, we talked about it today.
We microphones on you, honestly.
We talked about it today, but Dad needs to get to a point where he can both train and talk at the same time, because at the moment it's like this.
Blowing out your ass.
Well, I kept up with you most of it. Come on.
Did you? Okay. When you left, I went, ask Abs. It's absolutely true. I went, is he gone? And Abs went, yeah. I went, I didn't want to make him feel bad. I got to go finish my fucking workout.
No, you didn't.
I did. I was a few exercises short. I had to just go and nut him out.
That's so
It's cool.
bad.
He's building back up.
I
don't wait. You've got access to the CCTV. Fuck, you went out there, bang your biceps.
I'm going to look after this See exactly what you did. What did you do? You did a bit of glamour, a couple of little biceps.
Biceps, more biceps.
Yeah,
biceps.
5 kilos.
Biceps. One set of biceps followed by 2 sets of looking at myself in the mirror. So, anyway, moving on from Fat Boy Not So Slim. We...
I hope that wasn't aimed at me.
That one made me laugh. I'm sorry.
You can't laugh at your own joke.
No, I did. But I did. So, as we've established, people want a studio. And you got 2 choices. Do we want that to be a very traditional, basic studio that is pretty empty, little bit of kit in there, but pretty basic stuff that you would find in any gym? Or do you want it to be like a high rock studio?
Oh, shut the fuck up. No, no. Just stop it now.
To be fair, we tried to have this conversation the other day, didn't we, Jay? Like, I started talking about it and you were like, save it for the podcast. Because I go off of what you say.
High rocks is a kilometre of running and then doing some meaningless exercise for however many seconds.
It's not!
A kilometre of running.
The only way.
Another meaningless exercise. The only thing that's better than bloody CrossFit is you don't do those shit kipping fucking pull-ups, but that's about it. Everything else is just bollocks. What is this? What is this fucking bunny rabbit hopping pretend to be doing burpees crap?
It's called a burpee.
That's not a burpee.
It's a broad burpee.
It is a burpee.
It's
a broad jump burpee. It's fucking hard.
You could,
if you did one of them, you'd fall about like a fucking. Honestly, have you ever seen them balls of like flubber that you chuck and it goes and it splats? That's what that would look like if you fucking did a broad burpee.
We should sign Trevor up for a high rocks. Did you see that there was that really old man that completed a high rocks the other week?
What? Hang on.
No, I didn't mean
That's
that.
aggressive.
There was like a really old man. Like he had to be something like 70 or something.
58,
but he did a high rocks, and I'm like, if he can do it, like you can do it.
Then Dad can't.
Sign me up to a shitty high rocks, mate, and I'll boss it.
Abs wants to do one. Abs is training for one.
Seriously, it's pathetic.
What are you talking about, pussies? What are you
really
talking
not.
about?
It's so cool.
What are you talking about, pussies? What are you talking about, pussies? I've seen you get up out of breath. What are you talking about, pussies?
You're so full of shit, you are.
I reckon you get out of breath taking a shit. What do you mean, pussies? Like, what are you talking about? You're asking to be challenged to something that you can't. You are writing checks that you cannot cash, mate.
You're full
Honestly.
of shit. You fucking know better.
Do a kilometre of running.
No problem.
Do one singular kilometre and then have a conversation afterwards.
Who had 2 heart attacks and did tough?
Oh, so long ago.
Here we go.
So long ago.
Who didn't do it? Who didn't do it? Who didn't
Oh, you did
do
a
it?
Tough Mudder. Oh,
Who pulled out the
hell.
night before?
Oh, I don't like heights, to be fair.
Jay, you pulled out.
He pulled
Tough
out the
Mudder.
I didn't even know
Fuck yeah.
you were signed up to it, and you
Oh, this
pulled
was years
out.
ago.
the night before.
This was years ago. I was like 25. I'm fucking way older than that now.
Yeah,
Wow.
so what? 6 years ago is a long time ago.
7 years ago.
Okay, 7 then.
I might have even been younger. Probably was.
Well, you were fucking pussy, I know that, because you pulled out the night before. Wimped out.
Yeah.
13 kilometres.
Tough Mudder.
I know, 13 miles this one was.
13 kilometres,
Proper
which
one.
most of it he walked, and he broke his fucking ribs because he slipped off something.
And I did break.
And we all
and I
thought he
finished-
drowned.
and I finished it.
We did. We all thought he
That's
drowned
so
because
bad.
he jumped onto this thing. If we can find the footage, we'll fucking put it in this podcast. I swear to God.
No, I've
But
told
we-
you this. We're not doing that because I almost added the CCTV of your dad falling off the vending machine the other week.
Oh no, don't do that. No, that was like a Teletubby.
Oh my God, it was so
Falling off
funny
the,
because it was so
My
accurate. To,
Humpty
if you ever go and Google like Tinky Winky falling over, you know where they like fall onto their ass and their legs go straight up in the air. That's exactly what he looked like when he fell off this ladder in the gym. It was so fucking funny. And then like 2 hours later, he was like, "Don't take the piss, mate. I actually really hurt myself," which only made it funnier.
I didn't really hurt myself. No, I did actually.
You cut your hand.
Cut my hands, and I thought I'd broken my wrist, but
It was quite a
and he
fall.
nearly twatted his head. To be
Yeah.
fair, then I would have taken it more seriously. But
I have got the footage of me almost knocking myself out in Tough Mudder,
Oh
and
my
I still finished. So let's have less of the bloody. You can't do it.
you
old
imagine,
man
right?
Friday.
You've got the first. Oh, sorry. You've got the first rung of like a monkey bars thing, right? He's jumped for the first rung. Well, obviously below him is the floor, like the edge, and then a pool. So imagine jumping to something and then whacking off the edge of a pool and just sinking like a pathetic stone, just
Thinking like it went straight under.
just disappearing under the water.
Fucking full of shit you are. I broke 3 ribs and almost blacked out, and I still finished it. You couldn't even get to the start line. You absolute wet wipe.
Yeah, Jay, that is quite bad, to be fair.
Oh, fuck's sake. Here we go. There you go. 1-0, Dad. There you go. Go on.
Anyway, we've gone
where are we?
We've gone off on a massive tangent. But what I was saying was, it goes back to what Trevor said all the way along. Like, pick something that you're good at and do it well. Yep. High rocks doesn't necessarily come into our niche.
Oh, for you, look at you, dieting.
So much love in this relationship. Such a positive.
Growing a beard and a moustache. Yeah, okay.
Sorry, you're talking about me growing a beard. You're 58 and you're patchy. You can't talk to me about growing a beard at 58.
This is salt and pepper, mate. This is George Clooney.
Salt and pepper. It's more fucking salt and pepper, let's be honest. So, just to clarify, yes, Lauren, I agree. High rocks isn't traditionally who we are. However, it does make up the. You can just. I'm not interested.
We're not doing it.
If we'd listened to you from day one, this gym would be a bar.
Would have been full of studios. We've still got that video.
Yeah, would have been full of studios so that Dad could get dodgy massages.
Studio, I'd have been in there on my own, looking at me lovely neon lights that flash and.
Put it this way: the gym would have been very different.
Would have been very empty.
Would have been. So there is a conditioning element.
Crying to the bank manager.
There is a conditioning element to strength and conditioning, and there is a large portion of our membership that do things like high rocks. And if there's a large portion that do, then there's a large portion, I assume, that people want to do. So, again, in the spirit of just putting things out there, would people like to see it turned into more of a high rock space, which is still a studio? Let's be clear, it's still an open space. It's just got a bit more kit in it. It's a little bit more functional.
Space though.
Well, we have. Or would they like to see it just a blank canvas?
Describe what you would put in it.
Lanes. A track around the edge.
4 feet lanes.
We're talking about you pleb. You've been in the back room. You know how big they are.
The back room out the back.
The back room out the back is big enough. 100% is big enough. Mate, the good gym, if you're watching this is no criticism. This is no criticism whatsoever.
I know that the running bit is challenging for you, so the distance is needs to be as short as possible. Like our sled run. Like a sled push pull thingy.
What's wrong with that sled push?
No, that's about the length that you're going to get.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. You're not going to get much.
You don't. Right,
Go on, carry on. I'll shut up.
The good gym in Milton Keynes, we both know, right? They're good friends of ours. It's not the biggest gym in the world. They are, not only have they got High Rocks, they are an affiliated High Rocks gym. Mm-hmm. They have created a space in their gym, which is considered by High Rocks itself to be big enough to do what they want to do, right? There are other gyms local to us who have got High Rock spaces that are smaller than yards, the energy we're building. We could build one of the largest High Rock spaces for a long distance. And we are talking about one of the trendiest things in fitness at the moment, which covers not only a big portion of the demographic that we have, but actually is probably a better growth opportunity. I understand I'm getting a bit commercial, so members are probably going, fuck off. But it's probably a bigger growth opportunity for us than simply leaning into traditional, kit and blah, blah, blah. Which we still want to do.
I agree with conditioning. I agree with the element of
conditioning. That's what High Rocks is.
You label it High Rocks.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be. I'm not looking to label it physically High Rocks because then I'd have to go to High Rocks, pay them a licence fee, and I don't want to do that for essentially something that we can do, branded up ourselves. But would I base
Which
it
is annoying,
almost
I'm
one
like
for
High
one off
Rocks
of what
obsessed.
they do? Yes, because I think they've done very well. The moment that My Protein brands something with a company like that, I know it's a trend that's going to disappear in like 3 months. And that's the problem, right? Functional fitness will exist. Yeah, exactly. Functional fitness will exist until the end of time. Absolutely confident of that. In fact, I think the industry will only move more towards functional fitness. but the way the way that's delivered will change. So it was CrossFit. It's now High Rocks. It'll be something else. It'll all be an amalgamation of essentially the same thing, marketed in a different way. So creating a space that allows you to do whatever it is that's being offered up at that time with a few tweaks here and there allows us to be a bit more dynamic in terms of, right, what's hip right now and what are people looking to do right now, and still offer a functional training space. So I think I've got no desire to go and label it High Rocks because Dad will get all upset and think we're a CrossFit gym and we're not. But
well, at least with CrossFit they lifted heavy weights. High Rocks is isn't it a bit effeminate?
What do you mean a bit effeminate?
No,
I tell you
so-
what. No, Lauren, give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Not as part of this podcast, but as part of a video that we're going to do, because he has spoken with so much chest in this video. Abs runs a like a High Rocks. They're called like prep plans, which involves pushing the sled that is as heavy as it is during a High Rock session, pulling a sled that is as heavy as it is during a High Rock section, and doing the runs in between. And we have all that kit ready, set up and available. The sled is so heavy to push, Abs was having to physically deadlift it up each and every time he pulled it. And this is Abs. So we will set up that room and we will get Dad to run it. And we will do it on video and we will put it on the YouTube.
I'll boss it, mate.
Fine,
The
there
only
you go.
thing I
Cool.
would say-
Agreed.
The only thing I would say is I follow influencers that do High Rocks, and I look at kind of the types of training that they do to prepare for a High Rocks event. They are, so like to do better at their wall balls, they are like lifting weights. So it comes
Do any of them look
hand
like
in
that?
hand.
Of all of the influencers that you watch that get ready for High Rocks, do any of them look like that? Any
I'm
of
not
them?
passing comment.
Oh, he's my father-in-law. I have to be nice. They don't fucking look like
This
that.
is prime athlete stuff, this is.
What do you mean it's prime
Years
athlete?
of-
You look like you were drinking a bottle of wine pre this recording.
Prime
What do you,
athlete for
what do you
what?
mean?
Drinking Mindful Blend Trip.
Honestly, I feel like we've got more luck getting both of you into sumo wrestling than we do getting you both into like High Rocks or something.
I'm gonna get him into a headlock and choke you out in a minute. I'll drive down there and just bloody have at him. Great big wuss.
Going
Functional
deep
fitness,
into these.
functional fitness. I agree with. You know, things like I think anything to do with plyometrics, calisthenics, body weight stuff, anything like that, stretching, rehabilitation, all the sort of stuff that we kind of I think probably don't have enough of.
Please stop knocking your fucking table. It's got your mic on it and it's doing my fucking head in.
Come in.
It's driving me fucking insane. It's like being in a tunnel with a knobhead. Not him, please.
You'll find out what being in a tunnel is in a minute, mate, when I knock you out and find your vision going tunneled.
Honestly, I feel like everyone's getting a true insight into what it's like trying to have a meeting with both of you.
Anyway,
Ever seen
we'll
one
put
of
that
them
up as a
fathers
poll.
unboxing things? Because fucking you're getting rapidly.
Mate, this is the second
approaching
podcast.
it.
This is the second podcast. This is the second podcast in a row you've brought that up. Right? This is. I love you so much. Yeah, and I don't want to hurt you. I will knock you the fuck out if you bring it up a third time. I'll do it, and I'll
That's
do
what
it
he's
another.
Boxing.
after. Right, let's do a quick fire. So, members have actually given us specific suggestions after we did the
What?
polls.
What?
You're going to say yes or no. You're not allowed to explain why.
Why?
There's a lot.
He just said don't. You're not allowed to ask why. So don't ask
All
why.
right, fine, fine.
Sauna.
You're sold.
No.
Section for HIIT exercises.
Yes.
Yes.
Massage parlour.
No.
No.
I don't want to see Jay giving out happy endings. No.
No. Have
Anything
a,
to make money.
Dear. Oh dear. Oh, dear.
Never been against a pound note. Anyway, carry on.
Have a randoms room / studio. So having just random pieces of equipment that don't really fit in with the rest of the
No.
gym.
No. Everything
Uh,
fits in.
Open space for stretching, but make it private.
Yeah. Studio.
Yeah, but not one person private. But yeah.
I'm going to mention this one because I read this one out to you, Jay, and you were like, what? Move the chest area to where the back machines are. Shoulders and arms to be moved to the front with the cable machines.
I have to give context to this one because it's about someone specific. Ian, you drive a lorry for a fucking reason, mate, and I run gyms for a reason. If you ever fucking advise me again on where to put equipment, I'll fucking find you. I swear to fucking God. What are you talking about? What are you talking?
Yeah, I can't get my head around that either.
Seriously, mate, I've sat up for 3 nights in a row trying to figure out what the fuck you wrote down. I haven't got a fucking clue. I've drawn pictures. I can't fucking figure it out. This is why I don't answer the phone to you. Anyway, can we move on?
I do though. I answer him.
Oh, fuck me. He's had one conversation with him, and suddenly it's Ian. Like, chill out. Fucking hell.
Then quick fire equipment, abs crunch.
I would say yes.
Sorry, pieces of equipment? Fuck no.
I would say yes. It's popular.
No. Can we give some context?
No.
There's a video on YouTube. No, I have to. There's a video on YouTube. I'll find a link and I'll stick it in the comment section. I will comment it off my own YouTube so that people can go and watch it. There's a video of them using 2 of the best pieces of hammer strength ab machines that you can find on the market. So they've not used a shit one, they've used a good one. When they use a heat mapping software, and if it's activating a muscle, that will go red. If it's not activating at all, it'll be purple. If it's like blue, it means it's fucking freezing cold and it ain't doing shit. Your triceps, your biceps, your forearms, your shoulders, everything was fucking purple. It was it was bright red, like deep red. And the abs were blue. It did fuck all. Absolutely fuck all. You cannot train your abs in fucking ab crunch machines. There's a million. If you want to know how to train abs, I have a bloke called Abs in the gym. And if you've seen his, ask him. Yeah?
He does a class. He does abs is abs.
Yeah. So, it took us weeks to think of that name as well. Weeks. Anyway, no. I don't care what he says. No.
Someone has said, replace all of your techno gym cable machines.
Why? They're better than any other cable machine. So, listen, I understand there's some negative kind of, it's techno gym, it's a hotel gym. Fuck off. You don't need to be worrying. 90% of you, I look straight in the camera, 90% of you don't need to worry about the brand of kit you're using. You just need to fucking use it. All right? The 1% gains you're going to get, if, with the greatest of respect, Abs has won 2 world championships and he did it training in a fucking Everlast gym with some of the worst kit. Asking yourself, some of the worst kit he's ever used. And he won 2 world championships. Yes, of course, the better the kit, the better the workout. And that's why we've got so much variety. And that's why we've switched up brands and we're thinking of switching up and trying out a slightly different brand again. Because, of course, we want to look for better equipment. But Techno Gym cables specifically operate better than any other cable I've ever used. We've used Hammer, we've used Cybex, as much as people absolutely stroke them off. We've used Primal, I've used Precore. Nothing is as consistent and as smooth as Techno Gym cables. At all. If I put anything else in the gym, 3 weeks later, you'd be complaining. I promise you. You have to just take my word on that one. So anyway, long way of saying no.
No. Boxing bags.
Oh, fucking hell.
Every time.
Listen, the answer's yes.
It's just not yet.
Yeah, I'd say that's a definite maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep being coy about it.
It really does depend on. I don't think it's a priority for us.
I'll tell you what. I already don't love our studio as it is, right? There's a few things that me and Abs have identified fairly early on that we just need to get out of the studio now because they're not massively used and they take up tons of space. Give us an idea. What, of things that can get taken out that don't get used?
Yeah.
We don't need as many steps as we've got.
Yeah.
To be fair, I had streamlined down the amount of steps we had out there. They were put out the back. They've slowly been brought back out from storage and put on the gym floor.
I can't remember exactly what we were in there the other day. Genuinely can't remember what it is. I don't just remember steps. But we could put a freestanding punch bag in there and see how much it's used. I assume it's just going to become something that young lads just kick the shit out of with no real rhyme or reason behind it. And that's why I've never wanted to... Yes, for every one person who comes in and does a full-on workout on it and knows what they're doing, fine. But I've been to a JD gym where they have a whole room with... They have a whole room with one punch bag in it. Do you remember, Laura?
They had like multiple punch bags, didn't they? And they all had different like types.
But it felt like a really
over
big
6
room.
months. It was huge, and it was like over 6 months. Every
But it
time
was
we went in
trashed.
there, it was only used once.
Yeah, it was never used. It was absolutely trashed. The punch bags were mangled.
They were like hanging off, weren't they?
Yeah, I just think that it's the wrong environment for it. I think it's something where we should find a way to trial something that's...
So here's a thought, right? So you and I are meeting box 12.
No.
No, we're meeting... No, listen, hear me out. We're meeting box 12 because there are degrees of this. Right?
We've met them plenty of times.
Sticking a punch bag up. First of all, 90% of people don't know how to hit a punch bag, and therefore its appeal is to a very few. And actually, if you want to go do that, if you want to hit a punch bag properly, our gym is not the place for it. Like Jay, BST. Look at the punch bags they got in there. I mean, there's some serious kit in there.
And he's changing them weekly as well.
And he's changing them all the time. So that's not who we are. However, there is a thought around this whole conditioning part. Yeah, where, and all I'm saying is, I'm not saying it's a good idea or a bad idea. Let's go and have a conversation with them and see what the deal is.
I think if you can build the space out big enough, so for anyone who doesn't know what box 12 is, go and Google it because it would take way too long for us to explain it on here.
Just
it's
go
actually
and look
quite
at them on
innovative.
Instagram. It's a bit
Yeah,
easier.
it's pretty
They've got
innovative.
their videos on there.
It essentially involves stations. So you would have maybe 5 punch bags, and then next to it is quite a large tablet, and you go from station to station. It might be like a jab cross on one of them. You might go to the other one. It might be a 3 or 4 punch combo on the other one. The next one might be more footwork focused. And you go around that and you do it as like a circuit. And typically they're placed in studios. So if we had a large studio with nothing else in it and we did a very basic studio, we could fit these bags around the edge and you could just go, click start and do the circuit. It's a cool piece of technology. It's something that me and Dad have spoken to Box 12 about again. Apparently we're now going and talking to them again. So of course there's a conversation to be had there. It's just asking ourselves the question of, is there more benefit in that than there is in like a high Roxy type spec? Because I don't believe you can do both.
See, that's where I feel like you possibly can. If you don't do full-on high rocks and you don't do full-on box 12, you kind of come up with your own thing that's kind of a little bit of a hybrid. And you make the space out the back functional, I think there would be room for you to have a boxing bag, at least one, out there, along with the other stuff that you kind of want.
Agreed. Conversations
there
to
are
be
degrees
had.
of this, which are, you don't have to have multiple stations, you can just have one. And still have all of the other technology that goes with it, etc., etc. I think it's something that it's incumbent on us to go look at it, because it does fit with the functional fitness type environment, and these are designed for commercial environments, so it's robust enough to withstand people giving things a good twatting.
I had someone.
No, not yet.
I had someone come and ask me. They said you advertised that you'd got a punch machine where it lit up with the one that you should hit. The box splits. So we advertised that we actually had that, and we then never got it and never said anything about it. It's never happened before. It's just this example's for a very specific reason. I advertised it before I'd made the payment, and before I could make the payment, 2 gym owners that we know contacted me directly and said, "Don't fucking do it." These things. Me and Dad have seen one used in action, and it did feel like it moved around a lot.
It wobbled.
But I was insured it had been improved. I was then assured by 2 people that had bought them recently it has not been improved at all, that they are flimsy as fuck, both of them gave me stories how arms had just broken off, and because of the way they are, like once they're broken, they're fucking broken. Like it's game over.
Yeah.
If you've got big dudes in your gym, forget it. It won't handle it. You need to be stood next to them, showing them how to use it. So I just ghosted them after that and never paid for it because it's not worth it. So that's the story behind that.
So renovations, because we've been talking about like future development plans and stuff like that, and working with contractors. You've touched on it a little bit when you referred to the water fountain situation, but let's give the members a little bit more of an insight into how hard it is to work with contractors all of the time.
Yeah, I don't just want to beat on them, and I'm not going to be specific
There's some
about anybody
amazing
in
out
particular.
there.
But here's how it typically goes. We phone, they answer. Hello, mate. Could you come and do some electrical work for me? Yeah, no worries, mate. I'll pop down, and I'll quote it. All right, no problem. When can you do that? Friday. Cool. Friday comes, don't turn up. Text them. Oh, mate, you didn't turn up. Oh, sorry, mate, I was on a job. Can I come Monday instead? Yeah, no worries. Monday comes, don't turn up. Like, sorry, mate, you didn't come. Oh, yeah, mate, sorry, I've just got a load on at the moment. Can we come Wednesday instead? Yeah, no problem. Eventually, they turn up, and then they never quote it. They just never quote it. So, and we have to go through this 3 or 4 times before we actually find anybody, and it is agonising.
Pretty much for anything we do.
Pretty much, even when it's
best contractor we've got, Trev the plumber, who's moving to the coast.
Yeah, bastard. But it's but let's be clear. Even when it's, again, I'm not here to mince my words. Even when it's members running, relatively small outfits, just themselves sole trader outfits, where you'd go, fucking hell, it's quite a lot of work. It's a big deal. We don't dish out small electrical jobs. I think the smallest one we've done was a couple of grand, and the biggest one we've done was like 15. Right, so we don't offer out small jobs. There's big money in this, and there's good money to be made. And I'd rather go and dish it out to somebody kind of local. If no one wants to ring back, then I have to go to the big firms, and that's just the way it is. Even they're a nightmare at times.
Yeah, and then you're in a queue. I mean, take the bathrooms for example. I mean, we need contractors to come and renovate those bathrooms, but we ain't paying telephone numbers for them. They don't need to be 5-star. They need to be, decent quality for what we want. But I need somebody to come in and go, this is how much it's going to cost.
I always want to be careful when we have
these. Coming through the room is a nightmare.
I don't normally say that when we have these conversations on purpose, because I don't want people to listen to it and go, yeah, you guys are just fucking tight when it comes to the quote. No, listen, we hardly ever get to the point of quoting. In fact, there's been plenty of times we've not even got to the point of telling them what the job is before they've just disappeared off. Are your dogs all right there, mate?
Yeah. Right, she's running around. Can you hear her?
Yeah. So it's not price. Look, there's a fair price for everything. We've paid big money for plenty of things, and then found out down the line you can get it done cheaper or whatever. So it's not just about the money. It's just about people being reliable, and so often they're not. So yeah, it's frustrating, and even when, take the water fountain for example, I'm in a spat with a water fountain company now because that thing they've installed is fundamentally not what we ordered. They spent.
It's good enough for the job.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, and we're
split
it, but
no, but it isn't what we ordered, and we were asked to do works like install electricals. It doesn't use electric. We were asked to move a wastage pipe to a place where it didn't need to be. We were asked to cut boards because the wall would need to physically support it. This thing weighs less than my phone. Genuinely, it doesn't weigh anything. So we were asked to do a load of work that never needed to be done, but we had to do that work before we could get an install date from them, which put that back, and it never needed to be put back. So for lots of different reasons, that they can be a fucking pain in the arse.
Yeah. And that's often why sometimes if it's certain things that it's not like a specialist thing like plumbing or like electrical work, that's often why both of you end up doing stuff, because contractors are just frustrating and we end up jumping through hoops, and sometimes it's like, let's just bite the bullet and do it ourselves because it'll be quicker.
I think that, and I think in a lot of cases, especially when it comes to in the gym, there's always this fear that you won't articulate the thing that you want as well. I've always been really specific, and I've always been confident when I've articulated what I want that Dad gets it. Usually because he'll then draw it or stick it into some AutoCAD design online and show me, and I'll go, there you go, exactly what I meant. Because we sort of speak the same language when it comes to the stuff that we want doing in the gym. But if I go and tell Stewie, for example, as much as I love him, it it may not get across. Because Stewie can't even spell gym, let alone build. Like it's not.
Oh,
He's not. He's not a design guy, is he? He's a fucking knock a wall down.
He's a builder.
Yeah, that's what he is. Like it's just, and that's cool.
We have to be able to tell him what to build and we have to be able to specify it properly.
And articulating that sometimes can be really difficult.
Yeah. So, but the net of this is we need. Sorry, I should stop touching my microphone.
Yeah. We also just to finish. Sorry, we also don't like people telling us that things aren't possible. Like ceilings, for example, or bathrooms, or any of the other stuff that's gone tits.
Because Trev the plumber's moving away, and we wish them both well. We do need a plumber that's reliable, and we do need an electrician that's reliable, and we do need somebody that can come and renovate our bathrooms that's reliable. And ideally, some general handyman type person. We've got painter and decorator. Dale.
He's great.
He's the man, and he's
perfect
because he gets it.
He's
and
super.
And he just turns up and does the job, and he.
Don't ever know. Can never figure out his first name. Is it Lee? Is it Dale? Is it Fairy? What is it? What is it?
No, it's Dale.
Is it Dale?
It is Dale. Yeah. His dad's Lee.
So why is he called Lee Dale on Instagram then?
It's the name of the company.
Because it was his dad and him, and now it's just him.
Oh, I see. Yeah. And his last name is actually Fairy.
Yes,
he's a
Jay,
big unit, mate.
but it's R-E-Y.
I wouldn't if I were you, mate, because I can tell you now, he'll wrap you up like a pretzel.
I've said worse to his face.
Day-to-day running of the gym, I sometimes get the impression, and I know you guys have potentially had it too, people do just think that we turn up to the gym, go in the office, look at the equipment a bit, and then that's it. We don't really do a lot. But on a day-to-day basis, we have a lot of tasks to get through to ensure that that gym is there.
Yeah.
What's like one job that you have to do that members probably don't realise you have to do?
I mean, there's loads. I'm sort of doing this mental gymnastics thing in my head where I'm going, there's loads, but there's many I don't want to there's many that like there's no context behind. So
yeah,
we have to, you daily you check for people that have signed up and what age range they're in and whether or not we feel we need to ask them for ID. That's a manual task. Should it be manual? No, it shouldn't. But there's some system limitations there at the moment, and so a lot of the jobs that we have to do day to day at the moment, or Lauren's job especially, is stuff that we are doing because of the limitations of a system that we're using. There's a lot of jobs that come as a part of that. I don't know, putting me on the spot, jobs that we have to do during the day that people wouldn't be aware of. It's tough because you have to put yourself in the mindset of somebody who
and it's like the thing is
hasn't worked or run a gym before.
Yeah, it's like if people aren't in like the business kind of world, I think it was ages ago when we were doing content before I went on maternity leave, we did a day in the life video, and people were messaging being like, I didn't realise you did so much in a day. And it's like a lot goes into like being able to open those doors at the front of the gym. Like we work our butts off.
Abs always said to me that his dream always after winning the Arnold was to open a gym. And he'd been to what used to be Bodyworks. That was a gym that he'd predominantly been at for years. And this was a gym where the guy, stuck a load of kit in a room and was taking cash in hand for memberships. And it was about as basic a setup as you could get. And Abs, having worked now with us for the last 3 or 4 years, regularly says to me, fuck it, if someone had told me this is what it takes, I would never even have uttered the words I want to open a gym, because there's so much that goes into it. The thing is, it's different. I wouldn't say that the jobs are. This is half the thing. Every week is different. Working in the gym, every single week. You know, this week we've had it before, haven't we, Dad? We could spend the next. We're going to. Oh, I was going to say something you'd have to cut out then, because never mind. You might have to cut there, babe. But, you know, we could spend a couple of weeks talking about system integrations, APIs, SDKs. You know, the inner workings. Yeah, the inner workings and links between, you know, the app and the security system and the flow to members and member experience and all of that kind of high level technical software engineering type stuff. The next week we might be spray painting ceiling tiles. Like it's
and it is as diverse as that.
It's crazy.
It literally, or installing a sound. When have you ever installed a sound system before? Don't know, but we're going to do it. You know,
exactly.
when have we ever built a platform for a bathroom? Well, go stand on it. You'll figure out for yourself never. and like, but
It's
it
like,
really
it's
is as
random,
diverse
isn't
as that, and it's random. Yeah, it's totally random.
Yeah,
you know,
my
we could
day
be
consisted of working out, and fixing the cable machine, and then putting up some units on the wall so that we can store all our sundry items, and then I've been working on how to automate the workflow between Amazon purchases and things like Xerox.
Yeah, because there's a whole part behind the business of
finding out why our balance sheet is what it is, and figuring out what we do with the net book value of certain items and blah blah blah. And it's like and running payroll and you know, and all that stuff.
Look, there's to put it really simply to people, there's thousands of people that come to our gym, and a gym with thousands of people in it doesn't run. You don't just stick equipment in it and let it run. You know, we have insurance companies that we're beholden to. We have local authority that we're beholden to. We have health and safety regulations that we're beholden to. We have a laundry list of suppliers from equipment providers who we have service agreements with, where we have to be in contact with them almost daily for things that go wrong. We have to get them fixed quickly. We have suppliers for the shop. We have suppliers for the vending machine. We have suppliers for cleaning consumables. We have cleaners that we outsource, and the list goes on and on and on. And any one day, one of those things, you know, Saturday, what did I do? I got in my car at about 2:00 in the afternoon. I drove up to Booker's. I caught Booker's before it shut because we'd run out of toilet rolls, because one of us had forgotten to stick the list in for you to order loo rolls. Normally it goes swimmingly, you know. That one person might have been Abs, you know. I'm not saying it was or it wasn't.
It
wasn't,
not.
it was
Abs
me,
is a
but we're
babe.
going to say
Abs
for the
not-
purpose
Abs-
of this, it was
Abs
Abs.
takes pictures of it on your desk. You're mean.
Abs has become
Abs
a right.
saved you
Abs
so
has become a right
many times.
little fucking grass recently. Yeah,
love
leaving
him.
today, and he got his phone out, and he went. I was leaving today, and he got his phone out, and I went, "What are you doing?" And he stood in front of the door, and I went, "What are you doing?" And he went, "Let me just." I'm sure there was yes, here. Tell Jamie to take out the cleaning cloths from his bag to hang them. So I took them out of my bag and I stuck them on the desk, and he went, "There was instructions in it to do," and I was like, "Fucking read them and do them then, dickhead."
Do you know what's funny? Those cleaning cloths only ended up in your bag because I put them there. This is what happens between, like, Abs is your work wife, I'm your home wife, and between us, we end up making it so that you just do what we need to do. Are you upset
Fucking
because
hell.
I called Abs your work wife?
He's going to be more upset than I am.
Is it like in the nicest way possible? He checks that you've eaten and like you've drunk. It's the cutest thing ever. Abs is precious.
it's
I love
very
him. How do you guys personally feel when we get reviews and feedback that on the whole are positive, but sometimes the negative ones? How does it like, how do you guys personally feel about it?
I don't
It
mind.
depends. It
I don't
depends.
mind. People can say what they like. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone has a perspective. You're entitled to that. And sometimes it would be nice for people to consider how much effort has actually gone into the gym since the day we acquired it. but not a lot. But maybe very few people have that level of insight. But I don't expect them to. Just be a bit more considerate for the fact that there are basically 3 people that run that gym. You, Jay, and Abs, day in, day out, and that's it. With the best part of 2,000 members, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And
I think that
when things aren't fixed immediately, or somebody says, "Oh, the music playlist is a little bit, blah blah blah." It's like, come on,
I think, look, fact to fact, and the success or otherwise of our business will not be determined upon the singular piece of feedback that we get off of one person who hasn't ever experienced running a business like this before. So, look, people will only ever comment from their perspective, and I accept that, and I take that. And anyone who's ever received a response from me when they've given, because you'll always get a response when you give feedback, but anybody who's ever received a response from me will know that I've always prefaced it with, I understand it from your perspective, because from their perspective, look, they come in the gym for, an hour, maybe 2, maybe less, a few times a week. It's not the central part of their life. That gym, to us, is central in our life. I spend more time in that gym than I do at home. And I know it inside out and back to front, and my emotional attachment and my understanding of it, my context is totally different to someone who just rocks up and uses it. It would be like me going and having an opinion on a restaurant that I go to once a month, and the owner going, "We ain't got a fucking clue." Well, no, you're right, I haven't got a fucking clue, mate. But when I used it felt a bit shit. So I understand people's perspective, and I've got no issue with that. What does make me chuckle sometimes is the total, there is at times just this total lack of understanding of what we're doing here. And when people say it's fine, as again, I preface it with people's perspectives are people's perspectives, but also understand, we said it right at the start of the podcast, you have to choose who you want to be, and we've been very clear in choosing who we want to be. And one of the things that gets me and Dad is when people go, "Well, the walls are a bit dark," and it's a bit, the walls are dark, it's dark. Somebody said it made them feel sleepy. And I've responded to this person. I don't know where the fuck you sleep. On the M1? Yeah, because the music's well loud and there's fucking neon lights everywhere, right? So I don't agree, and I don't think many of the members would agree, that it's an environment that makes you feel sleepy. I understand if it's not an aesthetic that you would choose, but I also feel sometimes some of the feedback we get is a bit like turning up to an Italian restaurant and asking them to do Turkish food. So when we get people asking about saunas, steam rooms, when we get people going, "Well, you should," but it's the way it's phrased. Okay, so hear me out. We're having an open discussion. People are free. They're customers. They're free to say whatever they want to say, as long as it's not abusive. They're free to say whatever, but we're just having an open discussion as business owners on what it's like. And one of the most annoying things is when people phrase something as, "If you did this, you'd get more revenue customers." It's when it's framed as a commercial decision. You go, if it's an opinion, if it's, "Hey, I think this is really cool, have you considered?" And I get plenty of that.
We love
no problem.
those.
When people go to me, "Hey, what I think is if you ran, I had someone, they're no longer a member, I don't give a fuck, I'm going to call them out. They came in, they called me an arrogant young person, which was just a great way to have a conversation with somebody, and told me that what I don't understand is that if I appeal to older people, they have more disposable income and therefore would be a better demographic of people. And so what I need to do is tone down the music, do this, And to that person, I say, fuck off, actually, because you haven't got a clue. With the greatest of respect, the best demographic, and we've said this from the day we started working with energy, they didn't get it either. The best demographic that we can go after is the demographic that we target at the moment, 18 to 35. Because that market gives a shit about going to the gym. To those people, having a gym membership is like having a phone contract or a Netflix. It's it's socially unacceptable to not have one.
It's a norm, isn't it?
The older demographic that we have, and if you go to gyms that have predominantly older demographics, their retention the amount people cancel and rejoin is huge, because they'll be on it for a bit, then they'll be off it, then they'll be on it, then they'll be off it. Whereas young people generally, even if they're on it and off it a bit, they'll always have the membership. So it's a better demographic, always a better demographic for us. So I think just to go, older people have more money, therefore you should market to them, that's just fucking stupid, and you sound stupid when you say it. There you go. Have my say.
You feeling better now, fella?
I needed to get that one off my chest.
You did, didn't you?
Oh, arrogant young people like you. Mate, I have got so many fucking visible grey hairs. It's unbelievable. What are you talking about, arrogant young person, you bart?
That's not even my favourite one. My favourite one is when they come over to you and they're like, look, I know it's not your problem. I know it's the people at head office. And it's like, sorry, what?
They're the best ones. They're the best ones. The best ones are when they come over and go, oh, mate, can you just, like, I don't understand why I'm being charged a late fee. And I'll be like, well, mate, it's the rules. Oh, look, mate, I don't want to have a go at you because I know you're just doing your job. I made up the fucking rule. It was my rule. No. Well, there was that one time that I went in to clean the toilets one weekend and someone come in and just kicked the bucket that I was using. This was really early days of running it. I think I told you about it, Dad, right in the early days. Yeah. I went in to clean the gym toilets and he just kicked the bucket and was like, oh, you're in my fucking way, mate. And I was like, oh, I'm just trying to clean the toilets. I don't fucking care. Get a better job. And I was like, oh, this is a really unfortunate day for you. This is, buddy. This is about to end really embarrassingly. Dickhead. Anyway.
It's always funny when they say that we want to escalate it to like headquarters or
it's brilliant.
Get the big boss. It's like it's like you guys run it day in day out. They really don't want to get me involved.
I've only got one point. If you want to talk to somebody different, there really is only one person I can give to you, and he's a miserable bastard. I don't understand why you'd want that.
Yeah, you ain't going to get the answer you think you're going to get.
He's going to call you a bellend, and he's going to put the phone down. Carry on, Lauren.
I had one the other day where it was like, can I speak to someone else? I need to speak to someone that's higher up. And I'm like, you can speak to Jamie, my husband, if that helps. And they were like, yeah, if it's your husband, then yeah. And it's literally just like, we're like,
wow,
like, come on.
No, some people. There's been a couple of blokes. There's been a couple of blokes that have been like, "Let me talk to your husband because he'll sort it out." No, my husband's going to call you a dickhead. Like I'm not like.
Please don't. I don't want to pass you on to my husband. You're not going to like it.
There is nothing. To anyone who watches this and ever has any worries, there is nothing that I or Dad can answer that Lauren can't. In fact, Lauren has a better understanding of how that system works and how your payments go through and what the refund processes are and what we can and can't achieve from billing and why something might have gone wrong than me and Dad will ever know. So you're better off speaking to her. If it's got to me, it means Lauren's got fed up we are, and I'm at this stage just getting you to calm down so that we can resolve it. That's all it is.
And often at that point, it's, I've gone out of my way to do a goodwill gesture. I've been as lenient as I can within the scope of our system. I then hit a brick wall and I can't do anything else. Like, if I could, I would, and I can't.
And it usually involves people not paying.
Yeah.
Always involves.
And my tolerance level to that is 0. So if people are expecting some kind of, oh look, come on mate, I'll pay next month, you're going to get absolutely fuck all from me, other than being shown the door. And if you don't like that, I shall march you out by your testicles.
Lauren, look, I'm glad I spoke over him then, because we're going to have to cut that. You can't threaten to drag people.
The last one is, for the future, what is one thing that each of you would like to see personally from Phoenix? Now, it doesn't have to be in like the next month. It could be in the future, as in like in the next 10 years. Like, what do you want to see?
Go on, Dad. Because I've got a laundry list.
You're only allowed one.
Oh, okay.
I want the gym to be somewhere.
This is going to be so fucking underwhelming.
No, it needs to be somewhere.
I just want it to be a happy place where everyone's accepted and we all dance hand in hand in rainbows, and sometimes we circle jerk each other. Now, go on, sorry.
Maybe what you and Abs do during lunchtime, mate. I don't know what you two get up to, but
depends.
No, in all seriousness, I want it to be somewhere where people feel that they are getting the best quality that they can get, to give themselves the opportunity to be the best versions of themselves that they can be. The mental health aspect of going to a gym is massive, particularly for blokes, and I say that unapologetically. Yeah,
Dad, go and show me your hoodie. Show me your hoodie.
In support of
oh God.
Show me your hoodie, Dad.
health.
It says on the front, it says "You're enough," and on the back of it,
"You are enough," and on the back, it says that.
Have you been egged yet?
And if somebody does, then they will find the rather unpleasant side of me.
It's a really nice hoodie. I really like it, but I know that there are people out there, your son, that would lob an egg at you at that point.
It's just not true because he doesn't believe it, right? Because I was stood behind him twice today, and I know there's plenty of times during the week where he goes, "The world would be a simpler place if you weren't in it." Sometimes.
Oh.
And you know that's not true.
No,
sometimes I wish you would just fucking shut up. And stop
I think sometimes the listeners wish I would shut the fuck up as well.
In all seriousness, for me, it's like I want it to be. I want shit to be finished so that I want decent quality bathrooms. I want the best kit that we could possibly get in the gym that gives people the variety and everything that they want within one place. Somewhere where they really do feel like they can, come and do what they need to do and escape the bloody rat race for a bit and get a good quality workout. That's it, at a price that's affordable. Yeah, and that's for me. That's the main thing.
I think.
I see. I've captured your thunder, stolen your thunder now.
No. Kill Pure Gym. End them. Finish them. Make sure they no longer exist. No, I'm joking.
We've had so many conversations about this. They're an irrelevance to us. They are. Irrelevance.
So don't, because you do this all the time. You get all, but don't mention them. Don't even mention them. They're arseholes.
It's not about mentioning them. It is. They don't exist in the same ecosystem as us. They're not providing the same service as us.
I want, naturally, we're in very different places, right? So, of course, we have short, medium, and long-term goals. We talk about them all the time. The interesting thing about the way our dynamic is set up is that
is this going to be a long speech? It feels like you're
honestly,
setting it in.
It is.
It's fucking, you need that wingback chair, don't you? There's a wingback chair and a fucking book. And
Did you not know that this was called? This podcast is now being called Phoenix, Jack, and Ori, because that's what it is.
Settling in. Lauren said one thing.
Yeah, but I want to give a proper answer.
Snappy. Come on.
I did the snappy one, and you got all fucking butter about it. No. All I will say is that is very short and medium term, because that's like I just want to fucking sit on a beach soon. Whereas me and Lauren are very long term. Like we're much younger. This is our whole career, owning these gyms. So naturally, from Phoenix, what I want to see is like 50 sites. That's what I want to see, right? I don't want to just own one gym. That's not what I started Phoenix for. That's not what I want to do this for.
I'm definitely going to go grey.
It doesn't need to be 50. It could be.
I support that.
It could be 3, 4, 5.
Get this right.
I
scale it and repeat it.
I back myself on what we've built, and I've had some good jobs in the past, and I didn't come into owning gyms to be a single gym owner. That's not what I turned up to this for. I turned up to do this because Phoenix logo, the reason we chose the one we did, the reason we went down the route we did, is because it's marketable, repeatably marketable. Now, we've got systems and processes in our gym that need refining so that we can go and repeat this model over and over again at other sites, and there's short and medium term goals that get us there. But yeah, long term for me, I want multiple sites. I want members to go to me, if I go to this one, can I go to the one in Milton Keynes? If I go to the one in Milton Keynes, can I go to the one in Nottingham? If I go to the one in Nottingham, can I go to the one in Scarborough? Yeah, you can. That's what I want. That's my end goal. Snappy enough for you, you bold bastard.
To be fair, mine kind of links into yours. I haven't got like a number because I don't necessarily see it as like a number of sites, a number of gyms. No. I just want Phoenix to be a brand that's recognizable like nationwide. So like even if someone's in the middle of nowhere in a village, but they see our logo, they see our brand, they know, oh, that's Phoenix Gyms. Like they know who we are. We're recognisable. I just want to see that because I know that that's what we can be. Okay.
Cool.
Well, we finally made it to the end. Do you know, Jay, what your next podcast is going to be?
No, but I know who's going to be on it. So it's going to be me, you, Dad, and Abs. And I know we've said Abs for the last few, but understand, as much as people think we're never in that gym, there does always have to be somebody in the gym working, and we're all at home at the moment, so guess where Abs is.
But also, to be fair, it is currently 20 to 10.
So he is not at the gym anymore.
We would not be expecting Abs to be on a podcast at 20 to 10.
But we were supposed to film this at like 7, so. But so yeah, we'll all be on it. We are planning, and I guess we'll leave this in. We are planning a Saturday night or a Friday night live. Friday night live, wasn't it?
Friday night
we're planning a Friday night live. So we'll be doing exactly this, except it'll be all of us, all 4 of us, on. But we will do it live on YouTube and hopefully across other platforms. Yeah, no edits. People can just leave comments in the chat. Honestly, I just think it'd be really cool. You know, you're sat at home, your missus has got some old tosh on the telly. Like, you can just sit, watch the live stream, chill out in the comment section. It'll be full of people you know. Everyone can have a bit of banter. We can all take the mick out of the fact that Dad's got no hair, and we'll have a great time. And you can ask us questions. It'll be awesome.
It'll be a bit of a social thing, won't it? Which will be quite nice.
Don't do that, mate. It's tough to edit out.
You're so mean.
Fucking
Honestly.
edit you out, mate. You need editing out. Yes,
Right,
exactly.
boys.
All bought and paid for.
Yes, isn't it just?
Right, boys.
Right,
Are you going
boys.
to say goodbye?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Right. Bye, everyone.
Super. Let's go.